actually, what's the topic that we're talking about today?
Well, it's not necessarily a topic. What we're going to discuss is just what I said. What can we talk about? And I sent you some videos about the online dating and how not necessarily the impact, but how social media plays a role in the online dating scene, but also the little bit touchy, very controversial kind of antagonistic point of view that it's so much easier for men.
Okay. I mean, I have to admit that it works both ways in a way. Yeah, it's not just like, oh, men have it easier, but I do find that it's easier for men to get attached than women in general, or at least for the Christians, right? Yeah, at least that's how I feel as a Christian woman, yeah, in the dating scene online.
What do you mean attached? Be very specific.
You mean there are different definitions to attach? Like being a committed
Well,
relationship?
be a committed relationship. Okay, so I just want to make sure that we're on the same page about attached, because most people say attached as in because we were speaking about the whole online dating thing. There's this attached and matched, for example.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I mean, like, you're talking more like final outcome or a result or goal as such. In the end, maybe you said it's easier for men to become attached. Okay, but those men attached to somebody. They don't become attached by themselves. So in equal measure, men and women become attached.
Yes, you are right in that sense. But it's just that okay, the thing is, men you know how recently there was an article, I don't know, on the Straits Times or in the Singapore News article, that there were more educated women who are single and the less educated men in Singapore, right? Who are single, and that's why then when I was looking at the comments, and it's really fun to always look at the comments because you'll be like, oh, like this is what people on the streets think, right? And I'm one of the people on the street too. And there were a lot of people who were saying that, oh yeah, that's why the lower educated men, they cannot keep up with the higher educated woman, right? Because they're both single and they try to match them. And that's why a lot of the men end up marrying women from overseas, like yeah, from like either Vietnam or from Thailand. Usually Vietnam, actually, like Vietnamese brides. Yeah, so that's why the men and the women in Singapore, the single ones, they don't naturally or they don't really get matched attached together, at the same time in that sense. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, I completely agree. I completely agree. And the whole education thing is definitely a factor, as well as other things, income level, education, experience, age, in so many different ways. And this is going to sound horrible, but those men who do not measure up to Singaporean women have to go overseas to get women because they can't. Women in Singapore are way too picky about what they want. That's the bottom line. I want a man who is tall, handsome, educated, well traveled, got a job, has financially secure, etc. That you've eliminated like 80% of the population, or 70%, which makes the pool. Okay, so you got 100% of the population of women looking for 30% of the men of the population.
Yeah.
Okay,
Or maybe
and then they end
10%
up
of
single and wonder why. It's like, why have the men gone to Vietnam to find women? Well, because the women here don't want them. That's does that make sense to you?
Yes, totally, totally. I totally agree with that, and I feel the same way too, actually. And I mean, I kind of feel like, oh, oops, you're kind of describing me in a way. Not that I'm very proud to say that. But yeah, it's just a different expectations, different things that we want, different preferences. Yeah. So, but I don't need
Yes.
to have the man to be like, wow, he must be tall, dark, and handsome. No, it doesn't have to be that way. But like I want a man who has good character, is well traveled actually would be a plus point. Um, but uh, educated, like smart. Yeah, at least be able, to communicate. So I think that's very important, and good at what they're doing in their job. Yeah. So being excel. Yeah, they excel in their job is something that's important.
This has become a very normal way of looking at things. Okay, so there's this whole tick box kind of mentality of meeting somebody or meeting a partner, and it's kind of like, give me your resume. Give me your resume to see if I'm even going to give you the time of day, which doesn't allow. It's kind of like, okay, the trouble I'm having, for example, or I was having when I was looking to get a job overseas, and I could do the job with my hands down. I've got years and years and years of experience doing it, but I didn't have the university degree to back it up, and was rejected by everybody. Now, the competence is there, the talent's there, the ability is there, but the tick box is not checked for that. And when you look at this tick box again, it must be like this. How do you know if somebody's competent at their job? How do you know if somebody's got good character unless you spend a lot of time to meet them? It's not something they're going to say on a dating site. It's like, and by the way, I've got a good character. you know? And even if they do, are you going to believe them?
Yeah, so that's the thing. That's where actually, how you word your dating profile comes into play, and that's why there are like dating gurus, love gurus who actually make businesses out of it too. Yeah, because they teach and they help women and men to write better dating profiles that will be them real, that it's them, and it's also attractive to people who are reading them. So it's not necessary that, I have a good character, but yeah, it's how you describe the experiences that you have had in your life, what makes you tick, what is important to you. Those give little nuggets and ideas about, this person is actually very filial, or this person is very well traveled. Yeah, so those are actually very important things to look out for in dating profiles too. So for guys who have nothing written on their dating profile, usually, no matter how good looking they are, usually be like, I don't really know much about this person. Next. Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with that or not. I don't have the experience personally with that, obviously, because hello. And I'm not on a dating site either, so that does kind of help.
I thought you said you were going to sign up for it.
That's what I was gonna say. I don't have that extensive experience, but I did sign up.
Oh, okay. How was
it? I did sign up. It was the most horrible experience ever. It was a horrible experience ever. Maybe it was the wrong sites that I signed up for, but I didn't want to go for the super popular ones because I was kind of scared that somebody I knew would see me and be like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing on a dating site? But then again,
you are single. Yeah, what's wrong with being on a dating site?
It just doesn't agree with my more traditional way of meeting people and getting to know them.
Okay.
And it was confirmed, like I said, when I got into the site, and what happened was that some people, once you sign on, you match with so many people. Okay, suddenly, but I think it's fake. I really think it's fake, and I'll tell you why. It's because a lot of the people, because I was like, okay, well, I want to get this experience. Let me interact with these people, communicate, see what happens. And it was like, hi, how are you doing today? And they would say like one or two lines and then disappear. Okay. Hi, great to see you here. Do you want to chat? Yes, I want to chat. When are you available? Nothing. Nothing. It was just silence. And then what I started realizing is that they have these probably AI of some sort that will send you a message and you respond and they'll respond again. And what happened in my case was they were responding in Chinese. Okay. They would say something in Chinese and I'll say, hi, nice to meet you. I'm sorry, I don't speak Chinese. Could you respond to me in English? And then they'll reply in Chinese again. I'll say, sorry, English, please, in Chinese again. And then I used Google Translate to translate it. And it was just totally random stuff. As if it was programmed to just respond no matter what you write.
Yeah, it sounds like scammers. They're scammers.
Sound like scammers. And I'll be honest with you, 99.9% of the people there it was a scammer. It was one of those things. I had real people respond sometimes, but they were like, after the third or fourth line, they're like, hey, do you want to meet? And I was like, that was fast.
But guys do the exact same thing to me too. Like after there was this one particular one yesterday that I was chatting with. We did not even talk a lot. It was probably maybe within 10 sentences, right? And just very surface stuff. And he was like, yeah, hey, do you want to meet up? And I was like, I would feel more comfortable if we chat a little bit more here. Yeah, what do you think? And then he said, oh, well, I don't want to talk here forever, something along those lines. It's not his exact words, but yeah. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. I mean, I feel the same way too. Like, I do want to either talk on the phone or meet up at some point in time soon. But yeah, I'm just like, it's too fast. Like, we haven't even talked for about 10 sentences, right?
Well, let me finish my experience. I thought that was really fast, but I was like, maybe this is what people do here, and I just don't know. So I was like, yeah, sure, we can meet up. Are you free like next week? And she was like, no, I want to meet now. I was like, no, I can't. I
Okay,
can't meet you now.
That's weird. That's weird.
It gets weirder. It gets weirder.
okay.
because she says, show me your meetup card. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Meetup ID or something, to meet people.
Wait,
And I'm
which
like,
app are you on? I've never heard about the meetup card like in all my years of being on online dating.
precisely.
Yeah.
So the first thing she said was, send me your email and I'll talk to you there. And I'm like, you can't talk here? And she goes, no, I don't like talking. I want to talk on email better. It's more personal or something. So I was like, okay, maybe that's again another thing that people do. So I gave one of my not my main email, a different email. And as soon as I got on that email, it was like, show me your card. And send me a picture of this card, like an ID card that says this person has been checked and validated and safe and blah, blah. And she goes, you need one of these so that you can meet with people who you don't know so that you can be safe. I said, well, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
And then I went on Google and checked it out. And it's like the biggest scam ever, So what's happening is that these people are getting onto these dating apps, finding guys. It's probably not even the person in the picture, They create these profiles, these fake profiles. You start immediately they start talking to you and become really friendly, and you're like, you're really friendly really fast. You don't even know me. Like, hey babe. I'm like, hello, babe. I'm not your babe.
Don't babe me at this point in time.
And all they do is that immediately they try and get you to another meetup or email or something like that, and they try and sell you these cards and says, oh, you only have to pay for postage and packaging and kind of thing, and then they get your and that's I got in the 5 days that I was on the app, because I only started for 5 days, then I deleted it.
Mm-hmm.
In the 5 days, I had at least 25 people do exactly that, and it was so obvious. Hey babe, how you doing today? Would love to chat with you. What's your email?
I'm so sorry that you have to go through that, like bad experiences, really.
It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
The other experiences I had, because okay, so I don't know if girls do this. I don't think you have to do it, especially if you're a very pretty girl. You just show up, and guys will probably just connect with you. But I did that in the beginning, and nothing happened. So I said, oh, you got to do the swipey thing. So I swiped on everybody to see what happened, just everybody. And I had a few people respond, but it was that really painful conversation. Like, hi, hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. I'm really new here, so please be nice. Okay. So tell me a little bit about yourself. You can see my profile.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I feel you. I feel that's a painful conversation. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you said to me, it's easier for guys, I'm like, no. And then we had that. Then I showed you that video. Remember the video where the girl pretended to be a guy, and she goes, "This is gonna be easy because he's good." They don't talk to me. I'm not matching with anyone. And I've seen that because that's the way it works. That it's this inherent thing about guys are got this hunting kind of mentality of they're looking for their mate. They're looking for their I don't want to say prey because that sounds horrible, but I feel that there's this abundance of guys that are being rejected constantly by women in the normal place because they don't measure up to tall enough, rich enough, educated enough, etc., 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 or good looking enough. And I know you said you don't look at looks, but most people do.
No. Let me clarify that. I do look at looks in the sense that it has to be physically appealing to me, like as in I mean, we all have different preferences, right? And different like
Yeah.
standards in that sense. So it doesn't have to be, wow, he's like so good looking, a Brad Pitt kind. He doesn't have to have like, wow, six pack, big bulky muscles. I would be a little bit scared off by that actually. Like, yeah, but generally speaking, like, pleasant looking, fit, yeah. I mean, like, yeah, fit, generally fit. Okay, never mind. Yeah, and yeah. So I mean. It's an online dating site. We all look at appearances.
Yeah, sad to say.
Yes. So the online dating thing becomes more like a menu, of this menu. What do you want to eat? Pasta, burgers, meat, vegetarian stuff, whatever. It becomes a menu. And what I felt was in this environment, which validated my opinion about it before, was it'll be very, very difficult to actually meet somebody you genuinely gel with. So I went back to I thought back to the more traditional ways of how people used to meet other people in the past. And generally that happened in places of commonality, whether it be at work, at your church, at some activity or club or event or something that you're doing, or through friends, through your community, your communal circle. And that has totally changed now. And I try to put myself in the place of a person who's very popular. I had to use a lot of imagination. Somebody who's very popular on these online dating sites. If you're in a long-term relationship with somebody now if you have been in a long-term relationship, it's hard. It's hard when you get to know somebody, you become very familiar, and you get very close. The honeymoon period is over and you start finding little nuances that annoy you a little bit, or certain habits that might not be, very compatible with you. But it doesn't mean you break up. It just means you work through it.
Yep.
But this working through it takes effort, is very difficult, and sometimes very painful, to change and adapt and especially in today's societies, to put the other person first. You go into a relationship to see how you can serve it rather than what you're getting out of it. Whereas now it's like, I want to have a relationship with you. I want to know what I'm getting. What do I get for my effort? Where in the past, it was the other way around, where it's like, I will get in a relationship with you, then I'll offer to take care of you, to keep you safe, to have children, to be a good spouse, and these were the factors of what a good relationship, or a thing of mutual contribution. I don't know how else to put it. It wasn't like, you're nothing, you're a loser, you got nothing to offer, but you're so gorgeous, I just have to be with you.
I actually do agree with that. Like at one point in time when I was online dating, right? I do find that people on online dating sites in general, there's this idea, there's this feeling that, if I meet this person, we go out maybe a few times, and suddenly I realize that, this guy or this girl doesn't have something that I want, or this or he or she has this bad habit, or maybe something negative about the person that I don't actually like it. So instead of working through things, like you said last time, it's like, we just keep on trying and talking things out, right? But instead of doing that, online daters will naturally, okay, next. Yeah.
Next.
Because there's just there's so many people out there for you to choose from in that sense. So yeah, it's very easy to just go, nah, I don't want to work on it, next. Yeah.
When it takes a lot of work to work on a relationship to make it work, if there are so many other options, those really, and that's what makes any kind of relationship meaningful. It's the crap that you've gone through and worked through together.
Yep.
My opinion.
Yep.
That's never going to happen when there are so many options around. Okay, to be like, you know what, this is hard work, I couldn't care less, I'll go find somebody else and start over. And it gives me this impression of this general demise of long-lasting, meaningful, and constructive relationships.
Mm-hmm.
As you said before, I am single, so I've tried my hardest to create one of those relationships that didn't work. Okay, but it doesn't mean it's wrong to feel that way. I don't understand the concept of just meeting people and dating person after person after person after person like that. And I think it'll be very, very, very difficult. So you said you're very popular on the app because I'm giving an example. Just say you are.
No, wait. What if your audience is like, this girl is so, haughty and thinks so much about herself?
Okay, let's be very clear. Okay, let's be very clear. Shannon is very popular, but she has a very specific demographic.
I was just kidding. Yeah, trying to upsell myself. Yeah.
Okay, let's go in another direction. Let's use a hypothetical someone else.
Yeah. Okay.
20, 25 years old, you take care of yourself, you're fit, you look good in, gym clothes, which everybody's going to stare at you and guys are going to like perv because that's just how we're genetically wired to do. Okay. If I see somebody's ass or any other body part that I'm not supposed to be seeing and it's like suddenly on display for me, I'm going to be like, okay, genetically that's attractive.
Okay.
And that becomes your whole self-worth. It's like, I'm hot, therefore I can get everything. Those things fade after a while.
Yep.
Those things do not last forever. When you are getting 10, 20, 30, 40 matches a day when you're 20, if you're still single by the time you're 40, you don't look the same way you do as you're 20, and you won't get that. Okay? So I'm thinking about the adverse effect on self-esteem, self-worth, depression, sadness, resignation to how things are. And I believe, I might be wrong. Please tell me if I'm wrong or right. I'd love to have a conversation with people about this. Does it have a severe impact on someone's mental health? Eventually, at some point, okay, when that becomes your be all and end all.
Is it a question for me?
It's a conversation starter.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, what you mentioned, wow, there's a lot in it, right? I would say it's not just because of, because they do this on the dating app, they portray themselves in this way and they feed off the matches on dating sites. That's why, and then gradually over time, when they lose it, they'll find that, my self-esteem is actually, plunging, or I'm not that hot anymore, blah, 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 or like I'm getting less matches, therefore I'm less popular, therefore, I suck, whatever. I think it's just the whole society and the whole social media as a whole, not just about dating websites, is that we are always looking at an influencer, right? Or somebody, a celebrity who post like really beautiful, gorgeous pictures, or they post what they have, they post their holidays, they post etc., all the good things that happens in life, right? And then especially women I think has a tendency to be more susceptible to such things, is that they look at them and they'll be like, oh my goodness, she's so pretty, she has such a perfect husband, oh my god, I want to go on this holiday, her house, I want to earn that kind of money too, etc. It's all about just longing for something that they don't have, that apparently other people have. But what we often don't see is that they take like 1,000 pictures for that one, IG photo. Yeah, and they stage it. So a lot of times, I mean, not to say everything 100% is staged, but most often than not, it's all staged. Yeah, they're just putting up a pretty picture for the likes, for the gram, right? So, and I was actually kind of in it for a while too, in the sense that when I post something on Instagram, on Facebook, yes, I'm the Facebook era, I will keep on looking at the app, going to it and seeing, oh, how many likes do I have now? There's like, wow, another 20 more likes. Now it has reached, 60, 80, 100. I'm like, oh, okay, I feel more assured. And it's very subtle. You don't really realize that you keep doing that and that you are basing your either self-worth or self-esteem or your, whatever it is, on those vanity metrics. Yeah, like, oh, how many people actually commented on it? Or there are times when you're like, oh crap, there's only 5 likes. It's been 1 hour. That's not normal. That's not right. And I start to feel a little bit, why, like, am I not popular anymore, or people don't care anymore? And then I'll catch myself doing it. I'll be like, hey, stop it. Like, you shouldn't care about the vanity metrics. You're posting, whatever that you're posting online should be something that it's because either you want to share it for yourself, or as a memory, or maybe, you want to bring value to people. Yeah, like, you do you, you don't have to really care too much about whether people like it or not in that sense. Yeah. So don't, as in, the key thing is, don't base your self-worth and your self-esteem on these vanity metrics, because yeah, they're just vanity metrics.
I love that term. I've actually never heard that before. Vanity metrics.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's quite a common term in the industry.
Oh my goodness. But yes, I have seen that quite a bit. I don't think I've ever experienced that. Let me see how many likes I got, or views, or comments as such. Not to that extent, but I have seen people very close to me comparing themselves to these influencers. Like, oh, she's so pretty. Oh, she's like this. And there was an instance where I don't know if I told you before. I used to teach scuba diving.
Yep.
And I actually took one of these. I want to say celebrities. Because the celebrity that's only known in Singapore. So it's not a global celebrity. I took one of the celebrities out, she was my student. She was my scuba diving student. I took her for an open water certificate. I didn't know who she was because I'm unaware of these people. But one of the other students was very quick to tell me that, do you know who this person is? Anyway, long story short was she took loads of pictures on the scuba diving trip. Loads of them. And I saw how this was done. And we were actually not permitted to take photographs that would have her in it. And if we did, they had to get like approved by her agent.
Wow.
If we were going to put it onto social media. And every single photo that I had, and then I saw the one that went on social media, had it been photoshopped or I don't know what you call it. It's not Photoshop.
Edited,
filtered, doctored, edited so much that the person barely even looked like they did in real life.
Really? Oh dear.
Okay. Now they weren't like completely, totally, revolting in real life.
Yeah. It's just like different, right? It's just like, oh, like that's not what she looks like in real life.
Yeah. So I got the normal, the Facebook one that we posted on Facebook on the scuba diving site, and the one I had on my phone, and I was like, look at the difference.
Yeah. Oh wait, but you got approval to actually post that on your website?
No, because I was taking the photographs with either my GoPro or my phone. I had to upload all those photographs to Dropbox. Then they downloaded on their side, and then they uploaded it from there. But I still had the originals, but I just didn't post them on social media. But I could see the difference. So I was telling these people, don't believe what you see online. Don't believe these influencers. It's all filtered. It's all like this. They don't look like this in real life. And until they actually see it, they just don't believe it. So the whole social media thing is sincerely, I mean, I can't say it about everybody. Maybe some of it's true, but predominantly is fake. Now, the reason why you're bringing this up that I want to speak to you about, because you mentioned something last time we spoke, was when you do match with somebody on a dating site, you have a tendency to go and see their social media to see, okay, what is this person like? Do you actually see the real person?
Yep. Yeah.
On the social media. So what is your experience in that, if you have any?
Actually, I think I'm going a little bit in the opposite way in that sense. In that if I see something that's really positive, right, I'll be like, okay, that's not bad. But I'm still a little bit skeptical, right? Because whatever that we post online is whatever that we want to either impress people. But there was actually one case where after I saw his Facebook post, I immediately went, nope, this guy is a nope, next. Yeah, because you know why?
I was going to ask you if you don't mind sharing, yeah.
He was posting such negative stuff on his Facebook profile. And if you are already so negative online, I cannot imagine how he would be like in real life. Yeah, so he was very emotional, he would be like talking about, how sad he is, or, this and that, and it's just negative stuff. Yeah, and I could feel the negative vibes already on social media. So I'm like, oh, and unfortunately, I, I feel ashamed to say that I actually ghosted him. Yeah, because I was just like, oh no, yeah.
I'm starting to find that the ghosting thing is very common over here, to be honest with you. And it's not just with guys and girls. It's just even in business. If people don't want to do business with you, they'll just ghost you. They won't reply your emails and just let me know. Do you want the job or not? Or do you want this thing or not? Are you approved or not? Are you happy with this or not? Totally ghosted. So it's becoming very common these days, the ghosting thing.
But actually, come to think of it, it kind of is a long-standing, not I would say tradition or a thing, but yeah, it's just a long-standing thing. In that, imagine if you're applying, if like 100 people apply to a company, right? They normally don't tell those who are not shortlisted that, sorry, you have not been shortlisted. They'll just ghost you. Yeah, and you just, okay, it's been 5 months. I'm not selected probably. Yeah.
No, but I mean, they say it usually if it's for a job, they will say, non-shortlisted applicants will not be notified. I'm talking about people like, okay, we'll get back to you next week, and then they don't.
Okay.
But like I'm saying, I'm seeing this trend of people they just disappear. Now in your case, the reason why I'm bringing this up is for a reason. Okay, it's for a reason, especially with dating apps. This is very important. If you feel unsafe or uncomfortable, then I can understand why you will ghost somebody.
Yep.
It's like, I don't want any more interaction with this person. They make me feel uncomfortable. I don't feel good about this. It's not my nature to do this to people, but whether you feel unsafe or like, I don't want to say like threatened in a sense, whether it's threatening your physical safety or your sanity or your emotional balance. Yes, I can understand why you would ghost somebody, and I don't think I'll have a problem with that. It's a totally different scenario.
Yeah. Actually, well, now come to think of it, recently, actually last year, I think I did ghost somebody as well, but it wasn't a deliberate ghosting. It was that, I was busy, so I didn't reply his messages on the day, right? And then, or even for the next few days, and then, yeah, I mean, it was just so busy, and it wasn't like the priority for me, right, at the point in time. So,
thank you for admitting that.
Yeah.
People say I'm busy. That's not an excuse. You're not busy. It's just a priority issue.
Yeah.
I had other priorities, okay, that you weren't one of them. Okay, I don't, they're important in my life right now.
And there are other guys who are texting too. Okay, anyway.
So popular.
Okay, no. Okay, wait. So the thing is, and then why I eventually totally did not reply at all, even after that, was because, when I realized and remember, I'm like, oh, but he didn't actually text me either to just, hey, is everything okay? Let me know about this, whatever that he said in the previous message. So I'm like, and then I started feeling like maybe he wasn't really that into me either. So, okay, it's okay. I mean, yeah, then let's just forget it. Yeah, so it wasn't really a deliberate ghosting, but I felt more like, okay, I think he's not into me. He's not that into me. So then I'll just naturally move on to the next person who, has been really talking with me. Yeah.
You see, that's the thing, because you have so many options, you can move on to the next person.
Yeah, but I mean, all the time.
And maybe he also had a lot of options and could move on to the next person. But I'll give you my opinion about what I think happened, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Because I can relate to this.
Yes.
If he's a nice guy and he's not a player, okay? If he's a nice guy and he's not a player, and his was the last message to you, or you told him, okay, we'll speak tomorrow, or I'll text you again or something, and he didn't hear from you, he was probably assuming he was ghosted by you.
Yeah, I know.
So he wouldn't reply.
Yeah.
He wouldn't look after you. Whether he was into you or not doesn't really matter. I mean, I can imagine on a dating app, you don't immediately have these very intense and very, very strong feelings about somebody. It's still like, I like you. I want to get to know you better. But if I'm not hearing from you, I'm like, dude, I can take a hint, kind of thing. And they wouldn't respond to you. So my go-to thing when people speak to me about these things, and believe it or not, people do. He didn't say anything. Should I text him? Do I look like I'm desperate? These kind of things. I'm like, who spoke last? And what was said? If you said you're going to speak to you tomorrow, then you speak to him tomorrow. Show some integrity. If you say, okay, well, we'll speak soon again, and he said to you, sure, we'll speak soon. I look forward to hearing from you. You need to get back to him. If you were the last one, then it's his fault. If he doesn't get back to you, that's his problem. Okay, like if he says, okay, I'll get in touch soon. I'll get in touch tomorrow, and they don't do it, you've been ghosted.
Yeah. I mean, well, yeah.
My opinion. That's my opinion.
I
That's
totally
not.
agree with you. You're absolutely right. Yeah, and it's just
See, this has caused so much problems, right? It's just it's so confusing about how to do this, and then you get the other people who are like total players.
yeah.
They know exactly, and I saw online because, like I said, I was really intrigued by this thing, and when I went onto the to Google to look for this meetup matchup card, I can't remember what it's called even. This was like, we spoke like 2-3 weeks ago, so I went to check it out. Immediately, because of the Google algorithm thingy, I kept getting like advertisements for people telling me how to, how to be a player, how to, get as many women as you want, how to sleep with as many women as you want. There's these coaches that coach people this kind of stuff, and they give like these videos of like how successful they are with the opposite sex, or do these 5 things and you'll make any man fall at your feet, kind of thing. Get how to find the richest guy available, to do your bidding and buy you stuff.
I need to buy that. Tell me, where is that? I need to get that.
See, that's the response. That's the response that people get. And like, I want to learn that.
Yeah.
And like I said, I looked into it, and what I generally do is if I see something like that, I'll go onto YouTube or onto Google and see what are the reviews of that. What are people saying about that kind of thing?
Yeah.
And people will respond. And I've never actually, when the people respond like, this is the best thing ever, I was so successful, you can see it's staged because there's like 2 good comments among 100 really negative ones.
Yeah. That sucks.
And they're like, this is fake, this doesn't work, these guys are scumbags, they treat women like crap, they're very manipulative. It's like this whole mind game kind of thing. It might work, but it's not sincere. You're not actually meeting the person.
I mean,
You're just playing the game.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the whole premise of that, like, oh, I'll teach you how to hook a guy, right? Or I'll teach you how to bait as many women as you possibly can. I mean, those you can tell that their mindset, their values are very different already. Very, I don't know, to me, it's a bit off. Yeah, so you can probably tell what kind of person they are as well. Yeah, so.
Yeah, but like I said, if the response is if you're a guy who's been on a dating site and gets 1 match a week,
You'll be
and you hear this guy saying,
coach.
like you said before, there's coaches that'll help you to write the right profile. They'll do that, but is that really you? Are you manipulating certain criteria that the opposite sex will find attractive or enticing? But it's not really you as a personality. I mean, this is why. This is going to sound horrible. I know. I'm really, really sorry. It's not so much here in Asia, but more where I come from in Europe. It's very, very popular where women wear a lot of makeup from very, very young. A lot of makeup, fake nails, fake hair color, fake tan. Fake tan. And I think it was Eddie Murphy that did a comedy thing about this as well, where he got stuck in a closet with this woman that he went on a date with, or in an elevator or something, and she started taking off all the fake stuff, and she would like take off her fake leg, and fake hair and fake eyes, and everything. It was exaggerated, obviously, as such. But and I know women do it because it makes them feel attractive. They obviously are attractive in some way. They're able to manipulate. Red lips are very attractive to a guy, accentuating certain facial features or body parts or whatever it is. But when it goes beyond that initial contact, you'll find out what's real and what's not.
Yep.
And it's the same like a guy. If a guy shows up to pick you up in a limousine and you're thinking, oh, okay, this guy's very wealthy, very successful. And then you realize you only rented it for the day and the rest of the time he's broke.
Yeah, then it's not going to work. Yep.
It's not going to work.
Yeah.
That's for a woman. I mean, obviously you got different criteria. For a guy, it's the same thing. It's like, this woman's absolutely gorgeous. And then a day later you see like normal and like, was that you? Really? Was that? That inherently I don't think is bad. It's just how the game is played. The problem I have, or the struggle that I have personally, now please, like I said, we started this video chat for conversations. It doesn't mean a conversation where everybody agrees with each other. Okay? We can disagree about certain things. We can learn certain things from each other. The problem with that is what I see is not necessarily the act that happened. It's the ease at which people manipulate others. If you could do this to manipulate me in this way, what's to say you won't do something else to manipulate me in another way, or lie to me in another way, or deceive me in another way?
Yep.
And we all know the basis of every kind of relationship is trust.
Yep.
So if the beginning of it is based on a manipulation or a deceit or something like that, I mean, I don't say be your worst self when you meet somebody. Of course, be good, but not just the extent that it's so far removed from the truth.
Yeah, it's not about cheating and lying. Yeah, that's totally wrong already.
Yeah, I used to freak out when I saw the people I used to work with when I was overseas, especially in the UK. I worked with them, and then we used to have like a staff night out or something, and they'd show up, and I'd be like, I didn't recognize them at all. They looked so different than what I saw them every single day at work. It's like a totally different person, and it was like shocking. I was like, well, what if somebody meets you like this and they like you, and then the next day they see you like normal? That's gonna like give them a heart attack. Was I drinking too much, or what was happening?
Was it the right person? Was that your sister? Was that your friend?
I know, right? It can be so crazy. And then obviously we can go into a totally different domain, because a lot of the times these things happen with very underage girls who look much older than what they are. And then when they find out the real age, that the guy can get into a lot of trouble, can get arrested. He's going to ruin his whole life. But unless you actually see an ID card, you would never tell that they are the age that they really are. As such, I want to go back to the the online dating social media thing, because this is really, really cool, because we've got you here who has had
a ton.
I want to say successful. No. I want to say it's had relative success, but I want to say relative success in being able to connect with people, not necessarily find what you're looking for as yet. Okay, relative success, and obviously I had my 5 days of unsuccessfulness, besides of being a target for scams and bots and very strange people who to be honest, I don't even know if they're real. Because you're on this thing to meet somebody's saying hello to you and they don't respond, so it's like is this a real person, or is just trying to make you feel a certain way? I do believe that this
it really happens. Yeah.
And maybe can I share some tips?
Sure, you can share.
Yeah, it's like some tips on how to
tips.
Yeah,
Let me get my notepad.
how to be a little bit more successful, on dating apps. Yeah. Because I mean, I've been on it for, I don't know, 10 years maybe. Don't be traumatized. Like, why, she's been on it for 10 years? Oh, freak. What's wrong with her? No, it's like in between, I mean, I did get attached, so I was off it. But then after that, when I'm single, then I got back again. So it's been on off. But in total, probably, from the start was maybe about 10 years ago that I started playing with dating apps. And I totally feel you when you said, you face all these scammers. And even now, I still get scammers profiles as well. But I am so much better at recognizing who or which profile might be a possible scammer. Yeah, so, and I would naturally don't match with them. Or sometimes if I'm in the mood, then I will match with them and then I would report them. Yeah, and get them deactivated. Yeah, so.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, like if somebody reports a profile, I'm not sure how many strikes that they must achieve before the app actually takes the profile down, but I am kind of inclined to think that it might be just one, like as long as one person reports it, then yeah, they'll be removed. But I don't know, maybe it's not. At least they remove it on my side, yeah, to say that, oh, this account has been flagged. Yeah.
Okay.
So that comes actually with experience. I mean, I don't know for the girls how it's like, but for the guys, there's certain things that they will write, or certain kind of pictures that they will put, or even their school education, where they studied or what they're doing, their job, there are dead giveaways that, oh, confirm guarantee job, this is a scam. Yeah. So,
okay, like what?
Like if they are a gemologist, like
gemologist.
Yeah, gemologist. almost, I think like 99% they are a scam. Yeah.
Really? Because I know somebody here in Singapore who's a gemologist.
Yeah, so okay, then you kind of look at it with okay, but they're usually not in Singapore. That's the problem. So and I'm like, why am I being matched with this person? Like it's not even in my search list, right?
Criteria.
Yeah, criteria, yeah. But I don't know. So but I got matched, and then when you look at the pictures, it's like they are too good looking for it. Yeah, it's like the photos are too polished. Yeah, it's like photo shoots kind of photo kind of thing. Yeah, it's just like not normal, not normal. Yeah, and their English, when you look at the profile, it's a little bit terrible. Yeah, if they even write anything much. So 99% scammer. So yeah, so just don't match with them. Is your gemologist friend very good looking? What if he is like, he fits all the criteria of being a scammer? Oh no.
Well, the criteria, he won't fit the criteria because he's married. So
yeah, of course. But the other aspects, like, is he good looking?
He's relatively good looking. He's very intelligent. It's not his actual job, a gemologist. His job is a speaker. He's a public speaker, author, and trainer.
Yep.
But he's a gem collector, connoisseur. He goes all over the world collecting gems. Okay, he's one of these kind of people, and then he's very. And the reason I just found it really interesting that somebody would do that kind of thing, and he's a really, really nice guy. He actually wrote a book that you might like.
Which is?
It's called The Introverted Teacher.
Okay.
Which speaks about people who are introverts who do training and public speaking and things like that, and how our psychology helps us to do things in a certain way. So he speaks about the being introverted, but also somebody who has to be in the public eye.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's a really, really nice guy, really, really super nice guy. I mean, if I don't know how well he'll do on a dating profile, but if you meet him in person,
he'll be reported very fast.
For being a gemologist.
Well, if he is, then I mean it's really just unlucky of him. We're very sway, that he'll be linked with the scammers. Yeah.
Oh, you just reminded me of something actually.
What?
Before I got into this one website which I got into, which was horrible. A lot of them is like you have to pay. You have to pay a lot of money. And there was one particular one that I was on for like maybe a minute or two. I wrote up, and I'll tell you why. It's because you have to pay per message that you send somebody.
Okay.
So what happened as soon as I got on, absolutely beautiful, gorgeous woman, like 5 or 6 or 10 of them messaged me immediately, and they started talking and like, "Hi, how are you?" and like sent like 4, 5, 6 messages which you had to reply to, and then after you send, you get free 10 messages or something, and then you have to pay. So that was like such a dead giveaway. This is super, super scammy. This is definitely fake.
Yeah.
They just want you to interact with them as much as possible because that's just ching, 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 ching.
Yep.
The money coming down. So overall, I
don't
think
like-
my experience with this thing was totally bad. It was horrible. It was a horrible, horrible experience. I don't think I'll ever get on a dating app ever again.
No. I just think that
long.
you started on the wrong foot in the sense that maybe you downloaded, apps that are not very good. Like, just go with Coffee Meets Bagel. I think they're really good. There's lots of quality people up there. Even though at the same time, I mean, that's where I get all my scammers too, right? Because I'm only on Coffee Meets Bagel.
Yeah.
I mean, my friends have actually found their life partners on Tinder as well. But I personally don't like Tinder, so yeah, up to you. OKC is another one that is, I mean, legit. Yeah, some more.
I don't know what that is. I've never heard of that.
Okay, Cupid.
Okay, Cupid.
Yeah, OkCupid. So those OkCupid, if I remember correctly, is you have to answer like a whole ton of questions, and then they will match you with other people who have also answered the same questions, and they will have these numbers to what do you call it? The compatibility scores. Yeah.
Okay.
So in that sense, then the people that you're matched with will be more likely to be like you, yeah, or that you're what you're looking for, because they do ask you what are you looking for. Yeah. So
yeah, I don't want somebody who's like me. No.
Oops. So yeah, okay,
I'm joking with you.
yeah, okay, Cupid is another one that you possibly can also try or look at it as well. But I like coffee meets bagel. Yeah. So
That wasn't the only reason I didn't go. I didn't go because I'm not ready to to have a relationship, superficial or otherwise, with anybody at the moment, or probably for a while. And I only did this as an experiment, and that was because we spoke about it. I said I want to go on before we have this chat. I want to go and see what the experience is, and it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. Having said that, thank you for the recommendation. I personally, I still don't see the value in it, but as you said, there are people who have met people who they're going to spend a lot of time with, the rest of their lives with, or their partner, or whatever it is. I don't know what the statistics are. Do you have any idea about what for every 100 people you find, one person who's got a success story, or every 1,000 you find one success story? Do you have any idea what that might be?
Actually, no. I don't have any data, any stats for that. But I would say it's a, I don't know, healthy number, I guess. I mean, I've got friends around me who found their life partners on dating apps. Yeah, so it's okay. It's actually quite good. Yeah.
and
The reason I wanted to mention that is that I don't want to say only negative stuff. I mean, there is still a positive element that we can explore
yeah.
as well.
Yep. And I mean, I've met like great guys on the app as well. It's just that we, are not compatible. Yeah. So it's not that, oh, they're bad or whatever. It's yeah. So the thing is, even when you mentioned earlier on about the like education, like, oh, like on it they're professionals, educated, whatever. It's not that, everyone has a university degree. I mean, I've seen at least some profiles where they say like, they're from the school of hard knocks, right? And that's okay. Yeah. So it's really up to you on how you actually write your profile to share more about who you are, and what you're looking for. And I think that's where your personality can shine. Yeah, and I always read the profiles, yeah, before I decide should I swipe yes or should I swipe no. Yeah, so in fact, normally I don't really even look at the rest of the photos first. I'll just look at the first photo. Okay, decent. Age, okay, within the age range that I'm looking for, and then I will go straight down to the profile, like more information about this person, right? And if I resonate with anything that he says, then I'll be like, okay, not too bad. Okay, then I'll look at the rest of the photos to see, what are some of his either hobbies or how does he look like. Yeah, but yeah, so profile, I think it's so important. And that's how really whoever, is watching this, they want to up their dating game, or at least not in the bad way, not in the manipulative way, but trying to get more date.
Give themselves the best chance they can. Yes.
It's just like when you are sending in a resume, right? You don't write the bad stuff about yourself, right? You try to portray yourself in a good way. I mean, you have your skills and your strengths, and then you just need to kind of word them a little bit better, yeah, than how normally you would, yeah, probably write, right? So, yeah. And I would say be selective about who you swipe yes to. Although it's counterintuitive to say that, hey, but I want to get as many matches as possible. Why are you telling me to be more selective? But yeah, that's because when you just swipe yes on every single buddy, then you're going to get a lot of very bad matches. Yeah. And you will feel very discouraged, and you'll start feeling that, hey, these are all like terrible people, like they're scammers, or they don't even reply me. Yeah, but that's also probably because you're swiping on the people who are not that, I don't know, that vested maybe into this dating thing. They're maybe just there also just to try out, or if they don't write much on their profile, I mean, that's one indicator. Of course, it's not like 100% true, but that's one indicator that it speaks about them in a way as well, right? That, okay, why is the person not putting much effort into writing something about themselves? Yeah. So even if it's just maybe a few lines, or a few point forms, that's better than nothing, right? So yeah, so just be selective about who you swipe yes to. And I know you want to say something.
Me? No, I'm just listening to you right now. You said something. Really, I had a bad face. That was my thinking face.
Okay, like you're almost think like no, I want like no, that's not how I felt. Yeah, so and
No, I was just listening to you. I mean, you brought up a few things. I don't have a notepad to write things down, so I'm trying to remember a couple of things you brought up to comment on them. But then you say something else is interesting, and I'm like, that's a little bit more. Let's just go in that direction.
Okay.
As such, the mathematically it doesn't make sense to me. The if you swipe everybody, it gives you your best chance, which is what I did, obviously, because I just wanted to see what their experience was like. But if you're selective, chances are nobody's gonna say anything to you. Chances. I'm not saying it'll be like that. It will definitely be like that, but there's a higher possibility that you won't match with anybody.
But those that you match with will be of a higher quality than those other, random people that you're just swiping everyone. Yeah.
I completely agree. But if you swipe everyone, you will also have the higher quality ones among the ones that are not very high quality. We're talking about people. We're saying high quality, low quality people. That's terrible.
Matches. High quality matches, as in like.
But still people. How do we judge people like you're high quality, you're low quality?
like a better word.
Let's gotta find new terms. Let's find new terms like more compatible and incompatible.
Yes, but then again, compatibility is very hard to tell, over just what you eat.
I know. I'm just trying to find another word to like not tell people that they're low quality.
I know. Yeah. We need to find a better word for that. Okay, please, if anyone who is watching this, you have a better word, like just let us know in the comment.
Let us know down below. How would you classify people in a way that's not derogatory or insulting to somebody? Because like everybody has value. It's just like some people you gel with, some people you don't. Now, having said that, there are low quality people. But I don't think a lot of the people you're talking about fit into that category. Low quality people to me is people who treat people like crap, pretty much.
That's true. Yep.
Who take advantage of other people, who are manipulative, who are narcissists. That's a low quality connection you're gonna have. It's gonna, out of experience, I know it's gonna destroy a lot of things inside your life, inside your mind. So there are low quality people, but we're not gonna lump everybody into that group that we don't match with.
Great point. Thanks for pointing that out. Yeah.
No, it's okay. No, I love what you said so far, and like I said, we do want to have a little bit of give and take in this relationship because I mean we have so many similar opinions and views about certain things that it's very difficult for us to have a conversation and not be like, oh yes, I agree with you. Oh yes, I agree with you. Oh yes, I agree with you. So we can have a bit of different views of I didn't know that. Thank you for enlightening me, and hopefully I can do the same for you as well. But I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful for you sharing about your experience in the online. 10 years is a long time. I didn't know these things existed 10 years ago, but then, they did. I mean, like, I remember what was that, Match.com. It's been around forever. And they mention it in movies all the time. And I was like, what is this thing, But this has been around for a long time. Some of them with a lot more success than others. Tinder, the only people I know that use Tinder are people I know who just want to hook up.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So I actually I went on a course when I was doing my NLP course. There was a young lady on there who was talking about, after the course, she's going to meet up with this guy because he's met on Tinder. And she meets like 4 or 5 different guys, and she was so happy about it because like I get a free meal, I get to sleep in a hotel, I get to this. It's all this very materialistic kind of thing. Right after all of this bragging about all the things she got, was this? Why can't I find a nice guy? I'm like, nice guys don't really like being with women that live this kind of lifestyle. Okay, maybe you need to change something about yourself to attract the kind of person that you actually want. So that was my experience with Tinder. Not my personal experience, but the reputation or impression I got through other people.
Yep.
But as you said, some of your friends have met their partners on there, so it must be a bit of a minefield to go through to find these people. And it is for some, and it's not for others. It is what it is. It's a new generation. But you mentioned something very cool the other day when we were speaking about the connection between online dating and social media. Is like if you go on, did you mention it earlier? No, you mentioned about the guy who said something on social media you didn't like. But what if you connect with a guy on on the dating app, go to his social media, and he has no other online presence?
Oh my gosh, that is so real, and I'm so about it because I'm like, wait, what? Like, is this person for real? Like, I don't know if I should trust what the person says because I can't get any validation from the online world. Yeah. So I don't know, it's just so in a way reliant on it. I guess like in the past maybe people would actually do like checks, I mean so-called checks in inverted commas, from friends, right? Like references, like, hey, oh, we have this common friend, hey, you know this guy, right? Or you know this girl, right?
Yes.
How is she or how is he? Like, tell me more. It's like, okay, at least, you have some reference, good reference, yeah, or bad, and then you're like, okay, you know what? No, I'm going to stay clear of this person. So it always has been happening, right? It's just a matter of which platform, which medium. So now it's so much easier because most of people would have social media presence. Social presence. So if someone does not have a social presence, my first immediate thought is, does he have something to hide? Yeah, and it would be like, okay, and I would have a lot of qualms, yeah, about this person. So, and I would still go out with the person probably. I mean, I still have, as I had, but it would take a lot more for the person to try to either prove himself, that whatever he says, is either true or real or whatever, and I guess that's a disadvantage to him, right? Yeah. I don't know. It's a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword. And I know I shouldn't be judging people based on what the person puts out on social media as well. But it is a gauge, yeah, as to what the person is like. Because whatever that we put up as well, it does showcase what we are, who we are, what we believe in, what we stand for as well. Yeah, it is a sliver of our personality online too. What do you think of that?
I absolutely agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. And I would, even though I don't have the personal experience, I do like what you said earlier when we spoke about how people want to remove you from the platform as soon as possible onto a different medium of communication, whether it be email, whether it be WhatsApp or some kind of chat things, like, oh, can we meet up like right away? I recommend chatting with people, even though it's difficult sometimes. I would find it very difficult unless you've actually met somebody and gotten to know them. It's difficult to maintain a conversation unless you're very extroverted or very charismatic in that way as such. But yeah, I think I do. I agree with you. It's difficult to get to know somebody, and having social media does help. Now, the reason why I'm hesitant, I'm sorry, you can see I'm busy. I'm trying to put myself in that position because I'll be honest with you, I don't have a social media presence. I don't. I have all the accounts. I have Instagram. I have Facebook. I have and LinkedIn as well. Okay, I have my LinkedIn, but all of them are professional. If you go into any of my profiles, you won't see any personal information about me whatsoever.
And that's fine. I think that's totally fine. It's just at least I know that, okay, this person is sort of legit, like, he has worked in this place where he says he has, right? Because now the thing is, there's so many people out there who are just saying things that could be not true. And how do you prove that, right? If it's just his words against nobody's words. So if there is some social media presence, social presence, then at least it's, oh, okay, like, his friends either comment.
Are a real person.
Or that, yeah, like, okay, he's quite popular with people, right? Or he's a very people person because, he has a lot of friends and his friends actually engages with his posts, and that is, I don't know, that's a relief for me, yeah, in a way, to know that, okay, this person is not a loner, he's not a weirdo, yeah, yeah, and that sets me at ease.
It is important, as you said before, and the thing I'm really worried about. Okay, I think Singapore is not too bad because it's relatively safe, but it's not. 100% safe. Okay, to just meet up with somebody is risky. Is risky in certain ways. Even if you go to a public place or anything, it's and it's scary. I mean, how do you even? You know when people call people keyboard warriors because they feel safe behind their screens? It's the same thing when you're texting somebody or chatting with somebody through an app or through a program or through a online portal, whatever it is, and then actually meeting them in real life. How often has the person you've met in real life been nothing like the person you spoke to?
Yeah, exactly.
What do they call it? Something about fish. They look like a fish or something. Where, you know, when the meeting, it's like, you don't look like your picture. The picture was like 20 years ago. And
Catfish.
is that what it's called?
Yes, catfishing.
How real is that?
For me personally, I actually haven't really encountered such before. Yeah, so yeah, I think thank God my experiences are still pretty okay. Although having said that, I actually did encounter people telling me that, oh, you look different.
In a good way or bad way? That's,
I had no idea.
I have no idea. And I'm like, okay, I must clarify and disclaimer that I post pictures that are not as glamorous as what you see now actually, nor my events photos. I don't really post those because I feel that those are I mean, I have like so much makeup on, you know, sometimes yeah, maybe I have wigs on because it's for a show, right? So I don't really post that, and I don't want people to think that, wow, she's very glamorous, because I mean that's not who I really am most of the time, right? So I post, yeah, just post very normal photos like, oh, with a cat, you know, or like have a birthday celebration, I have a cake in front of me, you know, and then the resolution is like, you know, a little bit not very good, yeah. But although I don't really update my photos that much, so it could be a few years old already, but yeah, but I don't think I've changed like, you know, that much.
That drastically, yeah.
Yeah, that drastically. Maybe just a little bit older and more lines, but you know, photos you can't really see them because it's, you know, there is some form of.
Because you use a filter. I'm joking.
It's true. Like I like, you know, I like, you can't really see like my scars, my acne scars, for example, on the photos. One, because resolution is poor. Two, because, you know, there are times when I'm like, oh, you know, it's so terrible. Like, you know, then I'll just, you know, erase it off a little bit. Yeah. So
no, that's fine. I mean, it's just
But I don't.
I can't do that.
Yeah,
I have to cover myself up with hair.
What? Yeah, but the thing is, I don't like make myself skinnier. I don't make my whole face shape change entirely. All that kind of stuff. So I don't do that.
You can make yourself skinnier?
Yes, you can make your eyes bigger. You can make your jawline slimmer. You can make your, I don't know, nose sharper or whatever.
I need to look skinnier. I want to get one of those where I look skinnier.
Don't do that.
That'll be cool.
You'll be called. You'll be like, oh.
I'm not gonna put on a dating app. I'm just gonna do it for myself. I'm like, look how good I look in this photograph.
No, you already look good as
Denial, you know.
You already look good as you are. Okay, you don't have to change yourself. Yeah, to be skinnier or whatever. Okay. Maybe just
That's very kind to say. Shave more.
No,
I'm literally doing the opposite of shaving more.
yeah, exactly. It's like, maybe just shave a little bit more. Yeah. Okay, wait, never mind. I'm just kidding. Yeah. just a sarcasm to, like, you know.
Okay, so this is the only option I have. This is the only hair I have. You women can change your hairstyle, hair color, cut it, make it short, long, whatever it is. I don't have that option. So give me something.
Okay.